Hello students, how are you all? Stay safe. How do organisms reproduce? In this chapter already we saw about asexual reproduction. Now we can see sexual reproduction in plants. Part 2, under this the following subtopics are there: sexual reproduction, parts of a flower, pollination and its types, fertilization and its types, then double fertilization. Sexual reproduction. What is it? The type of reproduction in which the parents of opposite sexes, male and female, are taking part. It involves two individuals for the creation of a new individual. There are two types of plants, unisexual and bisexual. Flower is a reproductive part of a plant. Gametes are reproductive unit. Gametes are formed after meiotic division. They are haploid in nature. There are two types of gametes: male gamete, sperm in man; female gamete, ovum or egg. In plant, the male gamete is called pollen grains, female gamete is called ovum or egg. Unisexual. In majority of organisms, either male or female sex organs are present in individuals. They are called as unisexual or dioecious. Okay, that is called a hermaphrodite in animals. Bisexual. The term itself shows both sex organs are present in the same individual. In animals means we can call it as hermaphrodite. Example: earthworm, starfish, tapeworm. Okay, for unisexual even we can say papaya plant. Male papaya plant will not give fruits, but female gives fruits. Parts of a flower. Yes, there are four parts are there. First one, sepals, mostly green in color. Outermost whorl of flower, generally green. Together the sepals are called calyx. Sometimes it is colored petaloid. Next one, petals. They are colorful, attractive parts to attract the insects for pollination. They have different fragrance also. Male reproductive part, that is stamen, or we can say androecium, differentiated into filament and anther. Then inside the anther, pollen grains. Pollen and pollen grains are found. Yes, we can say this green color part is sepal. This colorful part is called petals. This is a filament. Then this is anther. Inside the anther, pollen grains are found. That is male reproductive part. Then this is female reproductive part. Here this is a ovary. Inside the ovary, ovule. Inside the ovule, ovum or egg is found. Then this is style. This is stigma. This together called a pistil or carpel. This is female reproductive part, or can be called as gynoecium. Here the reproductive parts are shown separately. Male and female reproductive part. In this diagram, filament and anther, that is called stamen or androecium, male reproductive part. Then this side, the female reproductive part is clearly shown. The ovary, inside the ovary, ovule, inside the ovule, ovum or egg is found. Then style and stigma, that is called gynoecium part. Pollination. The process of transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma is called pollination. Here, this is anther. This anther is transferred from this flower to the stigma of this flower. So this is called pollination. Self-pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant is called self-pollination. See, in this diagram you can see the self-pollination first type. The pollen from the same flower to the stigma of the same flower. Here the pollen from one flower to the stigma of another flower. So both are called self-pollination. Here two different flowers, but here in the same flower pollen to the stigma. No external agencies are required for self-pollination. Cross-pollination. The transfer of pollen grain from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of a different plant of same species is called cross-pollination. See in this diagram, here two flowers are given. This is in plant A, this is in plant B. Here from plant B, the pollen is transferred to the stigma of flower which is found in plant A. Okay, but both are same species only. Okay, the plants are different, but the species is same. So from B plant flower to the flower which is found in A plant. Cross-pollination requires some agencies like wind, insects, water, etc. Fertilization. After pollination, fertilization takes place. Union of male and female gamete is called zygamy or fusion. Fusion of male and female gamete resulting in the formation of single cell zygote is called fertilization. Types of fertilization. There are two types mostly, internal fertilization and external. Internal, the term itself shows it takes place inside the female body. Example, reptiles, birds, mammals. Yes, you might have seen baby born from lady. Then birds, they are laying egg, that is a fertilized egg. Okay. External fertilization. The fertilization taking place outside the body, generally in the surrounding media, mostly in water. Example, fishes, amphibians. Double fertilization. It is very important. In this case, pollination is followed by fertilization. See, when the pollen grains falls on the stigma of the flower, okay, pollen grains falls on the stigma, then it gives a pollen tube based on the chemical which is secreted inside the ovule. Now this pollen tube releases two male gametes through a small opening in the ovary called micropyle. Then one male gamete fuses with one female gamete, that is called zygote. The process is zygamy. Then other male nucleus with two polar bodies joining, that is called a triple fusion. Inside the ovary, 2 times fusion takes place. Therefore, this type of fertilization is known as double fertilization. After fertilization, the ovary changes into fruit, the ovule into seed. Okay, thank you.